President Bola Tinubu has arrived in Rome, the capital of Italy, for a Akaba-processed heads of state and government level meeting with special focus on the security crisis in West Africa. The presidential airplane landed at the Rome Fungia International Airport at approximately 7:20 local time this Sunday evening. The meeting, which will begin on Tuesday, is scheduled to bring together heads of state and government, senior intelligence and military officials from African countries, and representatives of intergovernmental and non-governmental organizations to discuss the evolving security challenges in West Africa. The Akaba Process meeting, a counter-terrorism initiative, was launched by King Abdullah II of Jordan in 2015. It is co-chaired by the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan and the Italian government. This edition recognizes the complex security challenges confronting West Africa, including the expansion of terrorist networks, the growing crime-terror nexus, and the increasing overlap between land-based terrorism in the Sahel and the maritime piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. The meeting will discuss ideas on how to coordinate efforts to counter terror, combat online radicalization, and disrupt digital networks that facilitate terrorist propaganda and recruitment. In a statement, Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, stated that in addition to attending the plenary sessions of the Akaba meeting, President Tinubu will hold bilateral talks with other leaders to explore ways of addressing the rising security challenges across the sub-region. Polls opened across the nation as millions turned out to cast their votes in one of Africa's most closely watched elections. For some, it is a chance to renew leadership. For others, it is a desperate call for change. Under the rising sun in Yaoundé, long queues formed, men and women, old and young, waiting patiently to make their mark on the ballot. This election pits endurance against expectation. President Paul Biya, at 92 years old and after 43 years in power, is seeking 8th term, a record that cements him as one of the world's longest-serving leaders. But this time, the mood is different. Across the country's towns and restive Anglophone regions, frustration over youth unemployment, insecurity, and political stagnation runs deep. Opposition voices, though divided, speak of a new generation's hunger for renewal, a demand for democracy that feels long overdue. Observers reported a calm but tense atmosphere as polling stations opened early, though some regions experienced delays and scattered irregularities. For many others, however, hope outweighed hesitation. As Cameroonians head to the polls, the spotlight once again falls on President Paul Biya, Africa's oldest leader and one of the longest serving in the world. After 43 years in power, his bid for an 8th term has reignited debates over democracy, leadership, and the future of a country often called Africa in miniature. With youth frustration rising, conflicts unresolved, and calls for renewal echoing across the land, this election may define Cameroon's next chapter. Our correspondent, Justin Bemuyi, reports on the politics, the polls, and the people. In this special report, Cameroon decides, the long reign, the young dream, the uncertain future.
Cameroon stands at a critical crossroads. A nation voting beneath the long shadow of one man's rule. At 92, President Paul Biya, in power since 1982, is seeking an 8th term, extending a reign that has outlived generations and defined the country's politics for over 40 years. But this vote feels different. Across Yaoundé, Douala and beyond, there is a rising demand for change. More than 70% of Cameroonians are under 35, yet most have never known another president. For them, this election is not just political, it is personal. In the conflict-torn Anglophone regions, families long for peace after years of violence. In the far north, communities still battle the threat of Boko Haram. Across the country, frustration grows over unemployment, high prices, and the slow pace of reform. Supporters hail President Biya as a stabilizing force, a man who kept Cameroon united in difficult times. Critics, however, see an aging system held together by patronage and fear, where power is preserved through control rather than consent. The electoral body Elecam faces accusations of bias, while opposition parties struggle under restrictions and fragmentation. Former challenger Maurice Kamto remains barred from contesting. Others, like Issa Chiroma Bakari, promise change but face uphill battles in a system many believe is designed to favor continuity. Yet, amid doubts, a new energy stirs. Youth movements, digital activists, and civil groups are reclaiming the civic space, documenting irregularities, urging participation, and demanding transparency. In markets and taxes, on campuses and online, one question echoes: can true change come through the ballot box? Cameroon's challenge runs deeper than leadership. It's about rebuilding trust, healing divisions, and ensuring the future belongs to more than the few. There is no clear succession plan, and uncertainty about what follows Biya adds tension to hope. Still, from Bamenda to Marua, from Yaoundé to Kumba, the spirit of the people endures.
I'm in support of a real change in Cameroon, because for so long we have been, I don't know if to say, we have been caged in some sort of political egoism.
In the Northwest and Southwest, for example, we have been plagued with conflicts and crises for the past 9 years, and nothing has changed. The same candidate over and over, nothing has changed.
These voices define Cameroon's democracy: resilient, wary, but unbroken. As ballots are cast and counted, one truth remains: Cameroon's future will not be decided by the power of one man, but by the determination of its people. Cameroon decides, and Africa watches. Justin Bemuni, NTA News.
Patrick Hemini, former parliament speaker, defeated incumbent President Wavel Ramkalawana in a presidential runoff election, securing 52.7% of the vote, official results announced Sunday. The victory returns full control of the Seychelles government to the United Seychelles Party, which also reclaimed the parliamentary majority last month and then a decade-long opposition hold. Hemini, who served as Speaker from 2007 to 2016, has pledged to lower the retirement age from 65 to 63 and implement recommendations from a Truth and Reconciliation Commission addressing human rights abuses tied to a 1977 coup.
Of course, I'm feeling very happy, but I'm not surprised at all the results, because the mood in the country was one for change. I think people had enough of the high cost of living, of the perception of a lack of basic human rights being respected, freedom of speech and stuff like that, the role of the army in policy, and several other issues.
Ramkalawan, a former Anglican priest and the first non-United Seychelles president since the country's independence from Britain in 1976, campaigned on his economic recovery efforts post-COVID-19 and expanded social protections. October 12 marks World Migratory Bird Day, a global celebration of the incredible journeys undertaken by birds each year. This day serves not only to admire, but to act, highlighting threats to habitat loss, climate change, and illegal hunting that endanger migratory species. A special report by Comfort Fasheun capturing its beauty and urgency.
doesn't fly far. This little bird, it carries everything. Hope, memory, dreams whispered in paper folds. Every October 12th, we celebrate not just birds, but journeys older than history itself. Millions of birds travels, guided by instinct, memory, and feather. But today, it's more than just an awe. It's about urgency. Every minute, habitat vanishes. Climate change throws their ancient route into chaos. Yet they still come. Migration isn't a choice, it's survival. The birds pollinate plants, they disperse seed, control pests. They are nature's early warning system. Their decline signals deeper problems.
To as humans know that this space, the earth that we live in, is a shared space for us with other creatures, wildlife generally. So when we realize that, then we create bird-friendly cities and communities where we have green spaces and gardens in our urban planning, because development is something that has come to stay. There are cities that you can't but have development go on there. So when we're doing that, we need to have green spaces. We don't need to cement everywhere. We can have green spaces, have trees planted, have gardens around, so that this birds can have insects in the gardens that they can feed on and so on. So it's very important, even for our own health as humans. As humans, it's very important for us to have green spaces around us.
On this day, we honor them. Every October 12th is the world's migratory birds day. A reminder that freedom doesn't always work on two legs. Sometimes it soars on two wings.
So when you step outside and hear that lovely chorus, pause, look up. It might be a creature, possibly a nightingale that left Nottingham weeks ago. It could be resting in our woods, our skies, our shared world.
And migration reminds us no border can stop life from moving forward. Comforts, fashion, NTA News.
Many thanks, Comfort. This is the news on NTA International. We'll take a break here. There will be more reports when we return. This day.
The Honorable Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isiaq Salako, cordially invites stakeholders in cancer space to the opening ceremony of the 2025 International Cancer Week. Theme: Redefining the Future of Cancer, Prevention, Access and Equity for All. Special guest of honor, Her Excellency Barrister Chioma D. Uzodinma, First Lady, Imo State, Chairman of Occasion, Senator Dr. Ibrahim Oloriegbe, Chairman NHIA, Keynote Speaker, Professor Anuja Hingran Anderson, Cancer Center, USA, launching of reports and inauguration of committees, Professor Ali Pati, Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, host, Professor Usman Aliyu DG, NICRAT, date, Tuesday, October 14, 2025, venue, Nigerian Army Conference Center and Suite, AYA Kubwa Expressway, Maitama, Abuja, time, 11 a.m., Emeritus Prof. Ifoma Okoye, announcer.
Many thanks for joining us. It is an ongoing program to ascertain the level of preparedness by key election institutions geared towards having an inclusive governorship election in Anambra State. The event is an enlightenment program for people with special needs. We'll now link up with our correspondent Onome Okadibo, who is in Anambra State, to bring us up to speed on the latest developments in that area. Hello, Onome. Please tell us what is happening there now.
Stakeholder, where it's half organization engaging institutional leaders, agencies, and from the people with in Anambra State, engaging them preparedness, confidence.
We sincerely apologize for that. We hope to rejoin her when the signals are clearer. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has inaugurated the Federal Interagency Technical Committee for the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zones Program, a strategic initiative aimed at transforming Nigeria's agricultural sector through innovation, inclusivity, and private sector investment. Permanent Secretary Dr. Marcus Onalini Ogumbi described the committee's formation as a pivotal step towards unlocking Nigeria's vast agricultural potential through cluster-based development and integrated infrastructure that connects farmers to processors, markets, and industries. The committee's terms of reference include offering technical guidance on implementation strategies, addressing technical gaps, aligning sectoral policies with SAP's objectives, and supporting monitoring and evaluation to ensure accountability and impact.
Specifically, our role in this committee include providing technical guidance on the implementation strategies of the program. 2, facilitating interagency coordination and information sharing among stakeholders. 3, identifying and addressing technical gaps and recommending appropriate solutions. 4, ensuring alignment of sectoral policies and programs with SAPZ objectives.
By the year 2024, we're supposed to kickstart major procurement process of infrastructure. It is worthy for the committee to understand that unlike the government procurement procedure of heavy infrastructure, that of a program is different. You start with your expression of interest that takes you about 2 months. When it's done, you do your long list and short list. You go back and forth with these development partners to clear it and give no objection. After that, you develop what you call your client and your bidding requirement. You have a bidding conference with the bidders. So by and large, it takes you about 6, all things being equal, and all things are hardly equal.
We'll now rejoin our correspondent, Onome Okadibo, who is in Anambra State, at the stakeholders engagement on inclusive election in Anambra State. Hello, Onome. What is happening there now?
Yes, it is a meeting where TAF Africa is engaging critical stakeholders to ensure an inclusive election here in Anambra State. They are ensuring that institutions like INEC, security agencies, media stakeholders, and representatives of the disability communities, they are here to ascertain the level of preparedness among these institutions to ensure that the upcoming November 8th governorship election is hitch-free.
Okay, so tell us about the challenges that the disability groups in that area have had in the past.
Okay, with me here I have Mr. Jake Epele, who will bring us up to speed on the challenges that people with disabilities have during the election. Mr. Epele.
Well, basically the problem that is associated with persons with disability in terms of inclusive election, accessibility, access to the polling unit, the issue of electoral resources like magnifying glasses, the braille and all that. And we have tonight an assurance from the REC, who is here in person, that these provisions have been made available to them and they will distribute on that election day. We are using Anambra State as a pilot to see total inclusion in an electoral event. So we will have 150 persons with disability in the field as observers. We will have 25 persons with sign language interpreters distributed around the polling unit. Now we're very in terms of participation. We know where there are numbers of persons with disability are, what unit, and build resources we are advising how they would do cases where we have instead of.
Thank you so much, Onome, for that report, and thank you, Dr. Ebele, for that insight. The National Emergency Management Agency's Customer Service Week continued with evacuation drills with the 6 geopolitical zones showcasing their unique traditions through colorful costumes and attire, fostering a sense of unity and belonging among participants. The exercise also showcases a vibrant display of Nigeria's rich cultural heritage. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu reports.
The primary objective of the evacuation drill is to assess the readiness to respond swiftly and safely in the event of a real emergency, be it fire, structural hazard, or any other threat within the workplace. The cradle of occupational safety and health states that no work is worth doing at the expense of someone's life. The DG Name said emergency management must not only coordinate external response operations, but also model internal safety best practices. She said key lessons and observations, timely evacuation, adherence to designated escape routes, and assemblage at the muster point are crucial. Every cultural group was given the opportunity to display their cultural heritage to the admiration of the guests. Awards of excellence were presented to some deserving staff for their dedication in the discharge of their duties.
I thank God for the grace given to me to deliver on my assignment, and this has been recognized and awarded. So
I'm just grateful that the agency recognizes hard work, purpose, and passion. It's been a long journey, and I'm very glad to be part of the recognition today.
The South-South geopolitical zone was adjudged the best performing region. In Abuja, Ilyasu Ali Yakubu, NTA News.
In a major step towards tackling childhood malnutrition, Nigeria has launched a national training of trainers program in Abuja on the use of small quantity lipid-based nutrient supplements, SKLNS. The intervention targets children aged 6 to 23 months, aiming to prevent malnutrition, especially in high-burden states across the Northeast, Northwest, and other regions.
From 6 months, every child is expected to be given this supplement, this small quantity lipid-based nutrient supplement. You add it to the food, to the complementary food that the child is eating, and give the child. So this way, the child will not come down with malnourished status.
We're providing technical assistance to the government, including funding and technicalities for rolling out this intervention.
Nigeria currently faces a nutrition crisis where 40% of children are stunted and 8% suffer from wasting, based on recent health data. The government, with support from UNICEF and other partners, has procured over 600,000 cartons of the supplement, enough to reach 2 million children for 6 months. The training is ongoing for officials from 20 priority states, with national rollout expected before the end of October this year. The Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Special Needs and Equal Opportunities, in collaboration with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, are strengthening partnerships in preparation for the upcoming First Ladies Forum on Disability Inclusion and Social Protection Initiative, spearheaded by the Ability Life Initiative. Ngofan Shaje Ogwanye reports that the initiative will enhance visibility, access to national platforms and networks necessary to scale up the implementation of the Domestication of the Disability Act 2018 at all state levels, including the FCT.
We do a forum like this with the First Ladies and push for the Disability Act to then be properly implemented at state level.
We need to collaborate. It is collaboration and partnership that keep the world going. you cannot achieve a meaningful desired result without effective collaboration. Firstly, they have a critical role to play in implementing policy formulation. And this forum, it will serve as a yardstick to identify and come out with a solution for other states to follow.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tuga has successfully coordinated the safe and timely travel of Nigeria's national football team, the Super Eagles, to Uyo ahead of their World Cup qualifier against Benin Republic. A statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said this was a result of the unexpected grounding of the team's aircraft caused by a cracked windscreen during its refueling stop in Luanda, Angola's capital. The statement stated that through rigorous lobbying and coordinated diplomatic outreach, the Nigerian mission secured critical overflight and landing permits across 5 countries: Cameroon, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Angola. These clearances enabled the replacement aircraft to operate efficiently and ensured that the team departed Luanda without further delay. Meanwhile, Benin's national team has already arrived in Uyo, setting the stage for a crucial encounter on Tuesday. And that's the news on NTA International. Many thanks for watching. I am Chinenye Mwe.